My husband will only eat cheese pizza and potatoes. I'm not lying. My husband has always been a picky eater, but it's not gotten to the point where he will only eat cheese pizza or potatoes. It can be any type of potatoes, as long as it doesn't have anything extra added. Anything I cook, he'll wince at and eat what he wants. This really rubs off on our son. He refuses to eat any sort of vegetables, and constantly uses my husband as an excuse. My son does eat his food by the end, but this is causing a huge rift between my husband and I'm not sure what to do. Oh, wow. His health has to be seriously at risk. Does he admit his diet is bad? That he is setting a bad example for your child? Does he get that this is going to kill him? Or that it is absolutely nuts? Try and get him to see your GP for blood work. Maybe he could be convinced to make some changes if a doctor can scare the hell out of him. He could also have an eating disorder. Stay firm on your child's diet. Be sure your husband has life insurance and the payments are up to date. You tell him he's going to die eating like that. Check this. Avoidant, restrictive food intake disorder, ARFID. It's an eating disorder. Has he always been like this? Have you talked to his parents? There are therapists and they mostly work with people on the spectrum, but it's not easy to get a referral. There was a story the other day about a kid that has this issue, and to get a referral he had to refuse food and not eat for 72 hours. The kid would rather starve than eat something that wasn't noodles. Do you think your husband would rather starve than eat something that's not pizza and potatoes? I think you have to make him talk to his GP to get a referral for therapy and a check-up. In the meantime, I'd get him vitamins. He cannot live on potatoes and pizza. I recommend you both do some research, as every time I hear a story about people eating only tasteless food and start living off just potatoes, it is a sign or a wider health or mental health problem. Please see this subcommunity, because this sounds like a very real eating disorder. It could be from trauma, could be sensory processing disorder or some other executive dysfunction. Either way, it's essentially become an eating disorder known as avoidant, restrictive food intake disorder. Does your husband have any conditions that could explain this, like autism? Avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, ARFID, is a new diagnosis in the DSM-5, and was previously referred to as selective eating disorder, and is often present in autistic individuals. Stay or leave. Engaged, miscarriage. I'm currently engaged to someone I've been with for 8 years. To try and make a very long story shorter, I have lost 2 pregnancies. I lost my first in 2015, which has always hurt me. He had only ever told me to go get therapy for it, and he doesn't know how to help. Fast forward to 2022, I found out I was pregnant on Easter Day. It was so hard for me to feel excited because I felt so sick and had so much anxiety and depression. I ended up having a miscarriage again early this month, 7 weeks along. My fiancé was extremely upset with me and said if I had a different mindset, this wouldn't have happened. I told him how painful this was for me. To have lost 2 babies. I told him about having flashbacks of losing my first and how painful it has been since the day it happened to me. He blames me for the loss, and after pouring my heart out to him about how painful this really is for me, he told me that he doesn't feel sorry for me. Among other things, he said he didn't want to get married right away, didn't want to get our house, didn't want to try for more kids. That honestly broke me so much. I never asked him to feel sorry. But I also feel like he doesn't care and disregards my feelings. He tried to apologize about 4 hours later, but what he said truly broke my heart so bad. He has a really bad habit of saying the most hurtful things you could ever imagine when he is upset and then trying to apologize later. I'm so tired at this point. Would you stay with him if you were in my shoes? I'm so heartbroken from all of this. My fiancé was extremely upset with me and said if I had a different mindset, this wouldn't have happened. This is monstrous. Even if he didn't mean it, and there is no reason to think that, it shows that he is completely undependable in a crisis. And that is the best possibility here. You do you, but I would never want anyone like that near any child, let alone mine. No one deserves to be treated this way. Why would you even consider marrying someone who has a habit of saying the most hurtful things you can imagine? Lose this douche. Please, please, please be kinder to yourself. He is abusive and you need to break away from someone like this ASAP. Would you stay with him if you were in my shoes? Absolutely not. Why would you stay with this idiot? Silver lining is that you can make a clean break. He sounds horrible. Why do you want to get married to him? Why do you want to be with someone like that? BF lied to me about his degree? My boyfriend, 30M, told me, 24F. He has his bachelor's in biochemistry. I just found out that his degree is actually something completely different while looking through the graduation commencement online. I feel very weird about this. Whenever it would come up in conversation, he played it off so well and even talked to my friend, who was actually a biochem major, about how courses are. Why would he lie about something this small? I'm more taken back by how well he's able to lie. Keep up the lie. I just feel so weirded out by this and can't tell if I'm overreacting. I'm definitely going to confront him about this but don't know how to proceed after. I'd just say it. Why did you lie about your degree? Hopefully he answers honestly. Is he trying hold some type image in his family's eyes? It's weird if he's a art history major and he's claiming biochem. It's another thing if it's some kind of biological science, or even a computational science, and claims it's slightly weird, but not a whole different realm. Maybe he had biochem as a minor. Edit. My undergrad degree was biochemistry and I don't even claim to have anything to do with it anymore. My current position is bioinformatics, data science, and I feel like the farthest from a biochemist than anything else. Lol, I was trash at biochem regardless. Let the more talented people claim it. What was the actual degree in? I am curious what his degree was. But yeah, to me this would be a red flag too. I would definitely ask why he lied, but it would make me wonder what else he has lied about, you know? Does he have 2 degrees? I had 2 by the age of 30, in 2 unrelated fields. The first question should be, why did he need to lie? The second, about what else did he lie also? And last, if he is such a comfortable liar, how can you ever be sure that he tells you the truth? He started the relationship with at least 1 lie. And if you think back, there followed so much more about his daily life, his degree. He made so much up while looking in your eyes. There will never be the same trust. If you are short together, it isn't worth it. If you are long together, how many lies must have been pilled up over the time? Am I being manipulative and controlling, or is this a reasonable request given the context? Myself, 25M, and my girlfriend, 23F, had a bit of a rocky time at the end of 2021. And we took a break for a few months to be with ourselves. I was devastated, and the way things ended made me believe it was really the end and not simply a break. Few months later she comes back to me, we iron things out. Talk about how to improve our partnership moving forward so we stay happy together. Great communication. We obviously discuss things we didn't do on our break, in way of being with other people. She says she didn't do anything crazy, only went on a coffee date with a guy and someone else that met her in the gym. She assures me these guys are irrelevant and mean nothing. I thought this was odd considering she knew completely it was just a break. And not a breakup. Surely you wouldn't be exploring your options? Either way, it's a coffee date, not that serious, I can get past it. She explains they are on her social media but they are irrelevant and don't communicate. I say that well because it seems these guys were potentially my replacement. I'm not comfortable with them being on your social media and it makes me feel a little insecure. Like she's holding her options close. I say to her that I feel a bit insecure and share all my thoughts, suggesting that if she really sees them as irrelevant and meaningless in the long term, as it was nothing more than a coffee and a quick convo, I suggest that she removes them from her social media to send a clear message that she is no longer interested. Assuming the only reason they were there was a potential thing. I find this to be reasonable and she agrees she would feel the same way if roles were reversed. But she stands firm in saying that she won't do it. I'm not sure what this means and not sure where to go from here, so hey Reddit. Need your opinions on this situation. So she agrees that it's wrong and she wouldn't like it either but won't do it for you. Maybe you need to do more talking. If she stays firm for these guys, then it's more than a friendship or whatever. For her is worth jeopardizing the relationship with you for something so random. She agrees she would feel the same way if roles were reversed. That means that she holds you to different standards than she holds herself. You have to be 100% faithful, she has to be, maybe 99%? It's a reasonable request. It's also reasonable to decline. But I don't like how she acknowledges that if roles were reversed, she'd have a problem with it, but still won't do anything. She really is in the most literal way saying that her feelings matter more than your feelings. You doing something bad is worse than her doing something bad. You expressed your concerns. She agrees with your concerns. And she still refuses to accommodate you. Yeah. No thanks. Breaks in real relationships are not advisable. You either stay and work it out or go separate ways. It is mainly to avoid such nonsense as this. You should take a permanent break from this one, bro. Not worth it. Hello there. Leave her. If a girl wants to keep her options open, then she's not really committed to the relationship. I'm not sure what this means. This means there is no such thing as, just a break. In today's terms, a break means, everything and everyone is fair game.